Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm back with another book review. Happy Saturday, or Saturday here where I am in Baltimore. I'm going to review a book called The Grand Hotel by Scott Kenemore. Okay, so some background information on this real quick because I think this is going to be a quick video. Some background information. This was one of the Audible free in your, you know what I'm talking about, free in your subscription, blah, 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 blah. You go through and you click the ones that are free to download. This is one of those. I don't know if it's still there. If it's still there, you can decide by the end of this discussion / review whether or not you want to purchase the book. So the first thing that jumped out to me for this book was that the narrator, because I listened to it, obviously it's Audible, the narrator had a very deep, soothing voice. Okay, and so I'm saying that and I'm getting a little dramatic because that's how his voice was. It was so deep and so soothing. And I feel like for most of the books that I read, that's not a thing. Like they try to, I don't know, it's normally, it's normally like a white female, or if it's a man, it's read by the author of the book, whatever. But this was a very deep voice. And I looked him up because at first I thought he might have been black. And as a person of color, I like to shout out other people of color and put people on to artists of color, or, because we're hard to find sometimes. But he's not. His name, though, I wrote it down for you if you want to look him up so you can listen to a clip of his voice, because it is that soothing. Like, honey, put this on in the background and go to sleep with it. His name is Christian Rummel. Chef's kiss. Loved his voice. Very soothing. And honestly, that's what propelled me through the book, because at first I was very confused as to what was going on. So the basis of the book is there's this grand hotel that these people wander into that they think is abandoned, that they're going to go exploring it because they think it's an abandoned hotel. It looks cool. They want to check it out, right? So they go in and boom, it's actually a working hotel, and they're touring the hotel with the narrator. So the narrator, but here was my thing with the book. It's basically a collection of short stories, and each short story kind of is like a traumatic story. So you're going from room to room with the tourist, or the tourist, to visit a guest and hear a story from the guest, and the stories are a little fucked up, basically. So here's the thing. As you're reading them and as the stories go on, as you get to guest, you start to realize, oh, each story is fucked up and something is going on here. And I just feel like the author really had this set up well to knock it out of the park, and then at the end just drop the ball. Because each short story was good, okay? But then there was like a hint of something else. So like, for an example, there was one about a chef, and the chef is telling his story and how he used to be a ghost hunter and his experience being a ghost hunter, a reality TV star, whatever. So he's telling his story, and then this is the first stop where some of the tourists or the guests decide to stay with a guest, or like someone who's telling the story. And the narrator is like hinting like, oh, that wasn't a good idea and they shouldn't have done that, and little do they know, blah, 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 blah. But he's doing all that, and he says that for a couple of the guests that they encounter, but there is never a consequence. So like they keep doing that and hinting around that, like, oh, the shoe's gonna drop, and at the end the shoe doesn't drop, it just shuffles to the side. Or like, here's the shoe, this would be the shoe dropping, the shoe does this. Okay, so I don't know, I feel like it had a lot of potential and the author just did not knock it out of the park. The author just missed the mark. So that's my thoughts on The Grand Hotel by Scott Kenmore. It was a good ride. So like I did enjoy the ride. The ending is just a little anticlimactic. So if that's going to bother you, skip this one. If it is an Audible freebie though, I would recommend it for the voice actor alone, Christian Rommel. He really was a treat. Yeah, but if it's not free, maybe get it on your library app, because the end, I don't know if it's worth you paying for it. But those are my thoughts on The Grand Hotel by Scott Kenmore. This is a short one. You can skip it unless you really are in between books and you need like a busy book to pass the time. Skip it. Okay? Okay. Bye.